It's Brian Lacey here for MMA Mad. I'm joined by undefeated welterweight, getting ready for UFC London, Tom Breese. First of all, sir, how's it feel to be back in England?
Oh, it feels great. You know, it's being back home. Missed the food. Yeah. So
you missed the food?
Missed the food. Yeah, it's good food. So after the weigh-in, I'm gonna get stuck in.
You told me before that your little treat after a weigh-in is a bit of red velvet cake. What other stuff is the what's on the list?
After the fight will be red velvet cake. After the weigh-in, I still got to be disciplined, you know. But after the weigh-in, you know, I'll be eating clean, a lot of carbs, small bits of protein and fat, but more carbs. You know, I'll be carb loading for the big fight. After the fight, I'm eating everything.
See what happens. Beware. Cake shops of London. First of all, you're back in London fighting here. You've had 2 fights in the UFC, both been in hostile territory. You fought a Brazilian in Brazil, an Irishman in Ireland. How does it feel to be the hometown man as well?
Oh, it's great. It's a different experience, you know. People are more supportive. You know, it's good to be around people that are wishing you to do well.
As far as preparation for this one as well, in fact, let's go back to another thing. Looking at the cards, how does it feel after 2 fights to be so high up a card, which is stacked with well-known names, UK fighters, international fighters like Anderson Silva sat over there? What's it feel like to be so high up the cards for UFC London?
It's great to be recognised for my skills. You know, I feel like the UFC, they see a lot of potential in me. You know, they're promoting me a bit more now, so yeah, it's good to be recognised for my skills. And yeah.
The last display against Cathal Prendridge, sorry about that, was an absolutely dominant display. A lot of striking. In fact, both your last fights have been everyone's been impressed with your striking. You've got a huge jiu-jitsu game as well. We know about that. Straight after the fight in Ireland, you went back and competed in no-gi, got silver medal. This fight you're going up against now, Keita Nakamura, he's well known for his ground game. Is that something you would like to show people that you can do as well?
You know I can do it. I've showed it in my previous fights. I'm better now than I am in my previous fights, but I like to fight efficient. I don't force anything, you know. I'm an efficient fighter, and wherever the fight takes place, you know, I'll be dominant.
It feels as well like the match between you and TriStar has been a beautiful one. It's not just opened up doors as far as your training partners in Canada, but also your jiu-jitsu. You've been down with John Danaher, down at Gracie as well. I mean, it's a perfect match. You must be still pinching yourself that a young man from Birmingham is living the life he is right now out there.
You know, when you're training with these guys and you're learning so much and you're seeing these new beautiful techniques, it's a dream, you know, a dream come true.
As far as game planning, has Firas Zahabi come up with anything special for this one, or is it a case just focus on you and do what you do best?
It's more focused on me and do what I do best. You know, we always tweak things a little bit, but you know, Fred's always given me great advice, and so is Eric O'Keefe. But it's more about building me as a fighter.
You've made it very plain that your journey is for the title. You're training to be a champion. You're not just training for fights. What is that, mate? What do you mean by that exactly? How's your training developed?
I'm not so. For example, I don't just do a fight camp, take time off. You know, I'm always in the gym training. I'm always building myself. I'm always preparing. I'm working my rest, working every area. I'm not just training for an opponent. Say if he's just a stand-up guy, and I'm working every area to fight the best guys. You know, I'm training for the champions now, the top 5 guys, because you know when I get there, I want to be ready.
It doesn't feel like you're that far away. You've only had 2 fights, 2 very impressive fights in the UFC. There's a lot of weight being put on you as far as we've got Michael Bisping behind us. He's carried the torch, the mantle for UK MMA for a long time. People are looking towards you. Do you feel that weight?
Yeah, definitely. You know, people are giving me a lot of praise. I've got my own goals. I put more pressure on myself than anyone else. So.
What are the goals? What, as in?
I want to be a champion. You know, I want to be the first English champion. I wouldn't be doing this otherwise. You know, and you know. I'm working hard, you know. Since I've started MMA, only time I've had rest is if I'm injured. You know, after this fight, I'll be back in the gym if I'm injury free. You know, working to be a champion.
And with this fight, this is obviously happening in February. How busy do you want to be, and how far away do you think you are from a top 5 contender? So your name's within that reach of a title shot.
I'm not sure. You know, my performances will say that. I want to take short steps. I don't want to make big jumps. You know, I'm 9-0. You know, these top 5 guys, they've had 30, 40 fights, some of them. You know, I want to get my fights in. You know, there's no rush. I'm 24 years old, so one step at a time. As long as I'm, you know, being in the UFC, you're fighting the best guys in the world anyway. So I'm happy doing that.
And finally, before I let you go, just how do you see it going? First of all, the fight, and then what's the after party going to be like for you?
I'm not a big party guy. I don't drink, you know. So
just cake and tea back at the hotel.
I just like to chill with my friends, eat cake, and that's it, really. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Netflix and chill then, but that's something different.
When I'm back in Montreal, yeah.
Well, hopefully you get another bonus, mate. Pleasure. Good luck on Saturday. Cheers, buddy.